Hi all, how you doing? Hope you had a good Christmas. Today's recording is done on the 25th of December. Probably won't take too long. The trading was relatively quiet this week. It was only 3 days. Was some pretty good activity. I expect the same thing to happen next week. I think there's only 2 or 3 trading days next week to end the year, but and after that, that's it. So I think overall, we did. I've got to check the results again, but overall, we've done pretty well. Not as good as I'd hope, but we're basically, it gives me more confidence for next year. I think next year is going to be a bigger year. Definitely going to be a bigger year. We've learned from a lot of mistakes. And when I say we, I say there are several people that I do trade for, and there are several people that are trying to learn. And they've been just, following what I've been kind of doing, which is good. Just been helping them out, and I think they're going to start to set up accounts next year as well. They've been trading on demo, but it's been good. So I think next year will be good. So I'll just talk about a couple of things today. Overall, let's have a look here. So I'm looking at the Aussie dollar, right? A lot of people. I'll pretty much cover the Aussie dollar all the time because most people, being from Australia, will be more interested in that one. So what we've got here. So what I've been saying for the last few weeks. I've been saying there's this level, there's this 74, 75 level that I'm really, really keen to keep an eye on. Mainly because we haven't really tested structure, right? And I always like to see a test of structure before before another move going down. So I have a feeling we might see this touch. Now again, I don't think we need to stay there and hang around there for too long. It could just touch and reverse back down, but who knows? It could be the actual reversal that everyone's waiting for. I don't know. But I kind of almost gave up hope on that one because we had some negative, some down days and all that stuff. But since then we've rallied back up again. So I'm not too sure exactly why. But we're putting 4 candles. Right, we've got an indecision candle there, but we've still got another bullish candle over there. So I expect I've got a pattern here on the 4-hour chart, which I won't go into too much, but we might have a potential reversal around here, just judging by the pattern and this trend line. All right, we've got some lower highs, right? So price and then higher lows. So we're clearly trading within this wedge kind of pattern kind of thingy. So there's several things that are going to happen. So this is where you kind of use an if-then kind of thought process, just to kind of tell yourself what will you do if the market goes and does a certain thing basically, right? So in this case, I would say, well, if the market hits this trend line, right, and we put in a siphon pattern, a completion of the D leg to give us a cipher pattern, then I'll be looking to short the market with targets at X, A, and B, etc. But if the market reverses, right, then I'd be looking for the market to come down to test structure, right? And as the market, bounces up from hitting structure, then I'd be looking for a potential shorting opportunity, okay? Or if the market goes down, but then pulls back up, then I can look for a shorting opportunity here too. So there's heaps of different. That's just an example, but there's heaps of ways you can kind of play this out. Like, there's no confirmed. I don't know if I'm going long or short yet, basically, right? So I'm just waiting for the market to tell me what to do. But you've got RSI on this level here. So what I usually like to do, this is something I usually see. The RSI, I don't just use it to measure strength and volatility. Strength or weakness. I use it for heaps of other. I also use it to, draw these trend lines here, right? What you'll notice is that when you draw these lines connecting from, say, key point, right? Not just random lines. So I'll draw a line, say, here. I can draw a line, say, here. Just like drawing a trend line on your charts, basically. But what I notice is that sometimes it gives me an indication as to what will happen next, because as price gets close to this line, once it breaks the line, or just before it breaks the line, you can never time it correctly, but you will suddenly see price really break out, right? There'll be a big jump in price. And that usually comes as it's about to break above the line, the trend line. So it's not an entry signal or anything like that. It's just an indicator to tell me that we might see a bit of a push up. And I like to look at that, not all the time, whenever I get a chance to. But, sometimes it can give you reversal signals as well, because as price kind of touches or starts to reverse, you can kind of see, as so. So it's pretty, so the RSI can be used for quite a lot of things, and I'll show you more as I do more videos next time. But yeah, so I'm looking for now for a cipher pattern for now. But if we don't, we roll back down, then maybe potentially look for another entry signal down here, long or short. We'll see what happens though. Don't think I will be taking anything this week though, heading into the new year. But yeah, if we do hit the 74.75 mark, then I'll be definitely looking for a shorting opportunity, right, to the downside. I think we're going to see a big down move coming soon as well. All right. Now the other one to show you is gold, right? Because gold's putting in is that gold there? No. I'm going to just load up the chart that I want to have a look at. Maybe it's not that one. Maybe that one. Sorry, guys. So gold's making an interesting move. Now, I've been saying, the last few weeks, I've been saying that we might see gold go back down to lows. That's still the case, but it has made some interesting moves in the last couple of weeks, right? So, okay, maybe I'd lost the chart. Doesn't matter. I had some data in here that would have been useful to have a look at. So yeah, we put in this very nice pattern down, as you can tell, and I've been saying that we might still see some down movement down to that 900, maybe 850, maybe 950 area. So it still can do that, right? But what it's done in the last week is following this down move here. We've actually put in an initial low there, a new low, and then we pulled back up and retraced back down, and we put in a double bottom. Okay. Now, what I expect to happen next, double bottoms is usually a signal of a trend change, all right? And what happens is, as when the double bottoms confirm, price usually pulls back up and then recovers or creates a new trend, basically, right? But this is what's happening. So it's kind of doing pretty much a textbook move, right? So it's gone back up, pull back down, and then double bottoms confirmed, entry at the next bar market open, pulls back up, breaks this structure level, right? I'll try and zoom in a bit fast, bigger. Breaks this structure level here, right? And then pulls back 38% point to retracement level, right? So this level here, and then we get the reversal back up. So what I'm kind of looking for next, right, is the next thing I'm looking for is the break of structure. So I'm looking for this level here, this key pivot level here to be broken. If we break that structure level, then we're looking at, so this is what we're expecting. So price to kind of go back up there, test this structure level, right? So more than likely a pullback, right? Pull back into structure, right? Structure resistance now becomes support, right? And then potentially, okay, a harmonic move, right? ABCD pattern back up into this level here, right? Which lines up with structure, I believe, down this side. There we go. But we can use various different techniques. We can look at Fibonacci inversion. So if I do a swing low to swing high, back down, then we also get a potential move up to the 161. So if price does go up to the 161, that's usually where we would look for a short, right, on the Fibonacci inversion technique. But we do get a 127, so definitely would be taking profits here, taking profits there and potentially there. But if you want to look for a longer term trade, taking the cautious way, there is a 2618 trade, a potential, right? But we have to wait for price action to reverse, all right, which it could reverse now. As it reverses, we'd look for an entry from the swing low to swing high on this move. We'd look for an entry around the 61.8%. Now, if price keeps on going and does touch this level, then we have to move the Fibonacci retracement level up and more, right? Therefore, the entry would therefore be at the 61 here, which is in line with where our entry is, like if we did enter this week. So heaps of different ways to play this. I do have a nice drawing of it, but I can't find it. So yeah, but it'll be interesting to see what gold does over the next into the new year. I think 2016 is going to be a big year for gold. Yeah, so keep an eye on that. Now, what I want to also look at is just show you the Australian stock market, and then that should do it for today. So, as so, and I'll kind of show you trend lines. I love using trend lines. I just use it to help me validate things. That just helps. So, you can see how price just respects. Goes back up, rebounds, goes back up. Gets rejected and goes back up, and we don't know yet. This is where you kind of have to make a decision as price goes up there, right? You've got RSI as being oversold, right? Overbought. You've got right up at the trend line, right? Now, what is the market likely to do? This is where you just have to wait and see what happens, right? So the market's either going to go up or down, right? Break out from this trend line and go back up, or reverse on the dime and go back down. So what do? It won't just bust through it, all right? So what it usually does is it usually would kind of pull back. It might pull back a bit, right? What level? I'm not too sure. Depends on different pairs, different currency pairs or indexes. Pulls back down, and then the second move up will break through, right? But as it breaks through, it doesn't go all the way up. It'll stall and it'll pull back again, right, into some structure level before it does the real move. All right, that's usually what it does. Right, pretty much 90% of the time, 80% of the time, it does that. Sometimes it will bust right through and keep going. Who knows, right? So that's the cautious way to play. You can play it two ways, right? You can buy here, you wait for the retracement, buy it here, right, in the hope that it's going to go up. But you never know; it could just reverse, right? So you don't know. You need to back test it. But the safest way is to pull back, break up, break through, pull back into here, right? That's the safe way. Now, how would you know if it's going to go down, right? So if it goes down, then what you're looking for is for price to pull back as it's done, to pull back up, right? Now what you can do is you can enter here with a really, really tight stop, right? Very tight stop, because you want to be as soon as you know you're wrong, you want to be out of the market as soon as you can, right? So you want a tight stop for this one, and then as it pulls back up, you're looking for the reversal back down. So basically a double top in a way, right? That's what you want to look for. So it's pretty straightforward. But yeah, but I think there's going to be more downside. I think I did do a chart some time ago where I said we might even hit 5,400, which we could do. Heading into the new year. I don't know, which is around this level here. We could do that. We could break through, right? So this is what could happen, right? We could just go like that, break through, right, and then go up to this level here, and then from there we just roll over. We could very well do that. It's not too far off, so I might be keeping an eye on that one. But that's it, guys. I think I'll keep it short for there. But going to be a very volatile year next year, but going to be a very good year to make. There'll be a lot of money-making opportunities, right? Patterns will be good, I think, because there'll be a lot of ups and down moves, right? Patterns usually do very well during volatile periods or periods of consolidation, those sorts of periods. When the market's trending very nicely, it doesn't do too well. So we're going to see a lot of pattern opportunities next year, and I think next year is going to be a big money-making year. So the guys that are part of that syndicate thing that I've got going, very small, I think they'll be very happy. Yeah, so I'm going to still keep trying to do some videos when I get more time. Some short training stuff, and I'll just share it with you guys. But you're going to have to subscribe too, so I'm not going to just provide those ones freely for now. But yeah, just subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, so don't worry about it. But I'm hoping that you guys at least give it a go, because next year, heading into next year, a lot of people are going to struggle, right? There's no job security next year, right? So people can't live in denial at the moment, right? There's just got to face the reality of it that we're in a phony economy, right? So we just face it. so, you know, you got to start thinking about not just looking for a new job, right? But planning, right? Planning as in building up whatever. Put it this way, right? If you're one of those very, very resourceful people that has multiple skills in the job market, then, you know, you've got a better chance of looking for another job in a different field, right, than what you're doing now. But if you're not that person, then you need to start thinking about, you know, what you can do to, you know, to invest in your own human capital, right? Someone taught me that. Right? They said that there's the two most important things to a person or to anyone is time, right? You all know time's important. And secondly is yourself, right? Yourself. So you need to invest in yourself, right? Because down the track, right, who knows? Like, it's like the Uber thing, the Uber and the taxi drivers. Like, you know, the taxi industry just couldn't keep up with technology and the evolution of technology. And they just, you know, had to spat the dummy. Whereas, you know, at some stage that's going to be gone. They can win. They can try to win as many fights as they can. They're going to lose. So, you know, if you're one of those taxi drivers, then you're pretty screwed, right? Same thing with anything else. So you just got to have to think about it. Because I think, you know, even me as being, besides this, I'm a project manager, right? But even then, I'm not even 200% sure if I'm going to have any job security, right? So you need to start thinking about these things. And this is a good way to kind of make that little bit of extra money. As long as you stay disciplined and, you know, trade with whatever goals or plans you've created and don't get greedy and all that kind of stuff, you should be fine. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to help with these. I'm trying to give back. It's basically moral obligation. So, and yeah, so if you guys have any questions, let me know. In the meantime, I'll leave you to it. Have a happy new year, and I'll speak to you in 2016. See you guys.